The story of a captain who cried and made a fuss after 3 collapses. What? I actually traveled to Tivat. Isn't that right, the eye of God? What is that thing? Elemental power, powerless. Collapse can do anything. Don't mess with me in the system. Readers who want to see the ultimate Qibao can skip to chapter 6, but it is best to read the first 5 chapters as well, otherwise they may not understand. New authors appreciate everyone's liking, and if you have any comments, just leave a paragraph review. In most cases, you will reply when you see them. Chapter 1. Did I travel through time? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Woo 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 woo. I've been playing for 6 years, and it's been 3 years of collapse. I've said more than once, it's almost over, it's almost over. But how come you're really over? I just talk about it. Kiana doesn't have you, what do you want me to do? Woo 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 woo. Watching the graduation trip playing on her phone, Mu Jueshi was so excited that she couldn't sleep. This short film is too good. I have to go to work tomorrow and can't watch it anymore. My Kiana, you can't even cook well. What if you're starving on the moon? Watch it again, and finally watch it 100 million times. Eyes, I can't open them a bit. Can you listen to the song? Hey, I'm so tired. When did I fall asleep? Mujuexi rubbed her eyes and looked around at the unfamiliar scene. Ha! Did you sleep from bed to the mountain? Is this from abroad? After 2.5 minutes of contemplation, he realized. She patted her thigh and came to a conclusion. I understand now. I must have been dreaming before I woke up, but it's not right. I remember when I was dreaming, I realized that I was about to wake up. If I couldn't think anymore, I would wake up later. After finally dreaming of such a beautiful scenery, I want to take a good stroll. Mu Jueshi yawned and stood up to carefully examine the surrounding scenery. It's really not right. The more you look around here, the more it looks like Tivat. Is this Mond? It's indeed a dream, but the more you think about it, the angrier you get. After finally having such a real dream, why didn't you dream of Kiana that I've been longing for? It's really unpleasant to come to Tivat. Following the route in my memory, I quickly walked to the windy place. Hey, let me go. This big tree is really spectacular. Can I even touch this 7 heavenly goddess statue to have elemental power? Hehe. It's like a executioner. Thinking of Jueshi, I touched my hand and it turned out. Nothing happened. No, if it's a real dream, you should be able to achieve anything you want to do. I can do anything, but I don't have any elemental power. Is it? Mu Jueshi thought about this question and suddenly realized it. I understand that I must be in deep sleep, and I can't think so directly. I should be running into Amber soon, and I need to go to Mond City to see. Just leave as soon as you say. Without any accidents, she got lost. Finding the place where the wind rises is just an accident. I'm so hungry, can I also be hungry in my dreams? I should eat more steamed buns when I wake up. Mujuexi suddenly saw a hill and hill campsite ahead. Is it really a dream? Just as I was hungry, I found a bunch of Chiuchiu people. Will there be treasure chests inside? Fortunately, they were sleeping, so I had to secretly check if there was anything to eat. I don't want to be awakened by Chiuchiu people in my dream. Mujuexi had just finished this decision when she heard it. Yeah. Mimi, Momu, ha. I forgot about the watchtower, but it was discovered by the archers of the Chiuchiu people. Watching this silly and cute Chiuchiu archer pick up his bow and aim at himself. Puff, I really want to laugh at how silly this Chiuchiu person looks. With a piercing sound, a crossbow arrow quickly shot towards Mu Jueshi. He was instinctively startled and felt something was amiss. He immediately used all his strength to shift his head, but even so, a blood mark was still drawn on his face. This arrow was aimed at his own life, and if it was slow, it would burst his head. The pain stimulates the nerves, even though the brain has not yet reacted, the body makes the first choice and runs immediately. This is not a dream. I almost died just now. Fortunately, the people of Qiuqiu had a strong sense of territory and did not chase too far, which allowed them to escape from Xingtian. Mu Jueshi ran to the river in shock before regaining consciousness. Everything is true. This is not a dream. Have I traveled? After drinking 2 sips of water from the small river, Jueshi gradually calmed down. Then he exhaled a deep breath and pondered on his current situation, thinking to himself. So, do I have a system? I asked tentatively in my heart. System. Unable to start due to insufficient energy. Please try your best to interact with each character. Chapter 2. Are you a minor in this system? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jueshi was also convinced that he had truly traveled, but fortunately he had a system. He asked the system. I'm here, how much time has passed in reality? Don't worry, host, you are already dead in reality. Oh, I see. If I'm dead, there's really no need to worry. What? I'm dead, how did I die? It's not a system. You live like the king of hell, did you want me to kill you? It's clear that the host died suddenly by staying up late, and in reality, you also need a car, no house, no girlfriend, and you're still an orphan. It's a good thing to have a buff full of time travel. Do you understand the value of time travel? It's not you. Your statement is too heartwarming, even though it's a fact. After thinking for a while, Jueshi continued to ask, then let me ask you, do I have any beginner gift packages or some special abilities in the system, otherwise you would be too useless. What's up? What's up? I'm suing you for defamation. I'm the latest system that can help you conquer the Valkyrie on the upper level and the Law Ripper on the lower level. However, my energy is limited and I haven't fully activated it yet. You're so amazing. I was almost killed by a Qiuqiu archer just now. If you don't help with the system, how can you save enough energy? I'm starving to death. Firstly, the host's body has been strengthened by this system. It was impossible for the arrow you just shot to hit the host. Secondly, the longer you stay in this world, the more energy this system has. When the host interacts with characters in this world, the energy will recover faster. Got it. Host. So I'm at Tivat, why is the system crashing 3? As a fan of the Me family game, you have elemental power, powerlessness, and the ability to collapse. Do you understand, young man? This system can help you convert elemental power into collapse energy. Hurry up and work hard, I will waste my energy chatting with the host when I rest. Sleeping, it's useless. You're underage, right? Breaking the system. Jueshi roasted for a while and had to accept this reality. My body is indeed different, otherwise when I first crossed over, I wouldn't feel like I was dreaming. If you don't feel tired after walking for so long, you'll just get hungry. The dodge just now was also instinctive. Hey, I don't want to do so much anymore. I'll find a way to fill my stomach. 2.5 hours later, I'm really starving to death. I can't do it anymore. Low blood sugar, I want to. After speaking, I felt dizzy. It seemed very comfortable to feel my body wrapped in the wind before Jueshi fainted. Hey, wake up, don't sleep anymore. Why did you sleep outside with such a big person? Jueshi listened to the familiar voice and opened her eyes, and by watching Amber, your heart was filled with excitement and tears welled up in your eyes. You are truly a newbie friend. Hey. How do you know me? Amber looked puzzled. Cute Amber and Count Rabbit, Because you're not the famous Mon City flying champion, and you're also a scout knight in the Knight's Order. Of course, I've heard of you. I see, but I'm sorry I don't know you. Judging from your attire, you're not a Mond, right? So who the hell are you? Ju she talks nonsense without making a draft. My ancestors were from Liyue, and I am a traveler. My name is Majuexi. I originally wanted to come to Mond for a trip, but on the way, I was robbed by a treasure group and all my food and money were taken away. Sigh. The system roast. To be honest, you just came with your mouth open. It's truly you. Jueshi fought back in her heart. If you can't speak, you can shut up. Now come out and roast. It's not your fault that you didn't give me anything. Amber looked at Jueshi for a while, and this guy really looked weak, not like a rival to the treasure-stealing group. He was dressed in strange clothes that shouldn't be cheap, maybe he was doing business. Finally, Amber nodded, showing a suitable smile, and then extended his hand to Jueshi. I see, then I'll take you to register with the Knight's Order. Welcome to Mond, traveler. Jueshi was about to reach out and grab it when her stomach let out an untimely cry. Jueshi looked at Amber awkwardly and asked awkwardly. Amber, have you eaten anything? I haven't eaten anything for a long time. Amber believed even more when he heard this that he was a poor person who had been robbed. This way, I'm sorry I forgot you were robbed by the treasure-stealing group. After speaking, she took out a small bag from her body and opened it. No, this is the pocket cake made by Cole for me. I'm afraid I'll be hungry outside, so please try it. Jueshi took the pocket cake, it tasted much better than compressed biscuits or something. It's so delicious, I've come back to life. Thank you so much, Amber. I must give you a good review. Hee. It's okay. As a scout knight, this is what I should do. Eat slowly, don't worry. When you finish eating, I'll take you to the city of Mond. Chapter 3. Babatos. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jueshi and Anbai were walking on the road when he suddenly asked. Amber, are you so unprepared for everyone? Amber asked back with a smile. Are you a bad person? A bad person with no food to eat who was robbed by bandits. Okay, just pretend I didn't ask. After a moment of silence, Anbai chuckled. Alright, I won't tease you anymore. My eyes are like rulers. I'm a scout knight, and I can tell who's good and who's bad at a glance. You're a good person at first glance. Besides, I'm very skilled. Jueshi was speechless for a while and inexplicably sent a good person card. System, when can you give me benefits? I'm too weak. Don't worry, good food is not afraid of late. Do you know that you have just encountered a character named Amber? The more you interact with him, the faster I will recover. Naturally, I can reward you. Hey, what you're saying sounds like a villain. I seem to work for you. When you're fully recovered, are you going to take me away? You really don't know how to be systematic. I don't have the energy to give you such a good reward right now, so you can't wait. I won't let you down. The greater your influence in Tivat, the more my abilities will be. In the end, I won't be unable to be your wife. Tisk. Hey. What do you mean you despise me? Why don't you do such a good thing? I don't have it. I don't mind you anymore. Please recover well. I'll hold on for now. You just gave a clear TSK. Jueshi doesn't even care about the system, this broken system can't give anything. She now doesn't even know where the plot has progressed. Pai Meng was not caught by the travelers, and did Tualan attack Mond City. She looked at the second fire archer of Tivat beside her and asked. Amber, is the current leader of the Knight's Order Falga? Oh. Of course, I didn't expect you to know the captain of our Knight's Order. However, the captain took most of the Knight's Order on an expedition a while ago, and now Qin is the acting captain. I just heard about it, but I can't even talk about it. After Jueshi finished speaking, she thought to herself that Farga had just left. So now Tuolin hasn't been eroded by the abyss, has he? Do you want to remind Wendy? Before I fainted, I felt the wind. It should be him helping me. When I have the money, I'll treat him to a bar. Here we go. Amber pointed to the city of Mond ahead and said. She also just realized that she and Amber had unconsciously walked to the bridge in Mond City, and couldn't help but sigh in her heart. It's really spectacular, it's much more stunning than in the game, so big. What I said is, if the bridge is really so narrow, how can Timmy casually put pigeons? Multiple impacts on transportation. Thank you, Amber. Amber looked at Jueshi, who was thanking him, and felt a little happy in his heart. You're welcome, Westwind Knight's Reconnaissance Knight. Amber officially welcomes you to Mond, traveler. Jueshi scratched her head. I feel embarrassed about this. Hee, then from now on, you can call me Jueshi. It's too awkward to call me a traveler, after all, I also call you Onbai. Okay, Jueshi, I'll take you inside and take a look. Amber led Jueshi to wander around the city of Mond for a long time. Jueshi felt the free city. State of Mond and realized that the journey seemed quite good. However, his current strength was too low and not very safe, so he must quickly become stronger. Although Amber had been wandering around for a long time, he still didn't know where the angel's gift was at this moment. This is different from in the game. There is no tavern next to the Deer Hunter restaurant. Amber, do you know where the angel's gift is? Amber looked strange upon hearing this, but couldn't tell that this guy was so concerned about the tavern. Ah. Didn't you run out of money? You're still thinking about the tavern. No, it's not. Places like pubs have a lot of information, and I have a friend who often drinks there. I'm also curious about Mond's famous apple cider. Okay, I'll take you there. Jueshi stayed in the tavern for a while, but he didn't find Wendy there. Amber also left first due to the task, and before leaving, she kindly borrowed some mora from Jueshi. Amber is really great, truly a newbie friend. Jueshi thought that if she could go back, she would definitely bring Amber to level 80. Yo, little brother, is there anyone around you? Jueshi heard a familiar voice nearby and turned to find a bard dressed in green clothes. Of course there's no one left. Jueshi smiled and said, what I'm thinking in my heart is Wendy, you've figured it out. Hey, the bard sat next to Jueshi with a bottle of wine. You seem to be waiting for a friend. Yeah, I'm waiting for Babatos. Chapter 4. The Power of Lawmakers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Upon hearing these words, Wendy paused for a moment and immediately reacted with a smile in response. You're really joking, isn't Babatos the wind god? How could he come here? This young man, you're really good at joking. Jueshi naturally knew that Wendy was pretending to be confused with a clear understanding and also had a bad laugh. Maybe, I think Babatos is the kind of person who loves to drink apple cider, right? God, Wendy didn't say a word. Jueshi said to the bartender, 10 glasses of dandelion wine, please. Wendy asked. Didn't you say that Lord Babatos likes to drink apple cider? I'm afraid Lord Babatos won't be able to come. I think you would prefer to drink some dandelion wine. This is for you. Wendy smiled and said. You're really a good person, little brother. From today on, we'll be friends. Jueshi placed his arm on Wendy's shoulder, and he didn't make any resistance. Then Jueshi spoke on her own. I'm telling you, this morning on my way to Mond, I experienced some setbacks. Then I suddenly received help from a stranger. There is a saying in my hometown that emphasizes the importance of benefiting all beings, which roughly means doing more good deeds and achieving good results. I accepted others' kindness on my way here, and naturally wanted to repay it, so I decided to invite you to drink. Wendy found what the person was saying very interesting and didn't immediately drink before asking. But the person who saved you is not me, why invite me? For example, someone threw a bottle on Mon Street, and someone would naturally pick it up and sell it for money. This person may have nothing to do with the person who threw the bottle, but the bottle will definitely be picked up. Just like how I was helped by a stranger on the way here, which led me to decide to help you in a tavern. You can have a relationship with that stranger, either unrelated or related. The key is to pass on this good result, and I happen to meet you. Wendy sighed inwardly. This kid must have known something. There was something. He knew he had helped him, but on the surface, he smiled and said, "It's so profound, I don't understand, but thank you for the wine." After Wendy finished speaking, she brought the wine and started drinking. Seeing this, She also considered herself a favor and planned to leave. "Alright, you can have a drink first, my friend. I'm leaving now. It's my first time coming to Mond and I want to take a good stroll." Wendy suddenly grabbed Jueshi and he said with a smile, "Wait, let's drink together. You're a great person who invites bards to drink, and I want to write you into the best poem to sing, so can you tell me your name?" Jueshi, who was once again issued a good person card, spoke up. "My name is Mu Jueshi, and you?" "Me. You know, my name is Wendy, hee." After speaking, he finished another glass of dandelion wine. I didn't know you before, but now I do. By the way, Wendy, have you heard of the story of the Wind Demon Dragon? Of course, are you curious about this kind of legend? I thought Mon people don't like to hear such stories now. First of all, you can understand that I am from Liyue, and as someone like me, I love listening to stories the most. Wendy smiled. Really? Then I need to talk to you carefully, but... He looked at the dandelion wine on the table. Jueshi looked at the empty wine bottle on the table and was speechless for a moment. "Oh my goodness," I shouted out loud. "It's so fast, I've almost run out of drinks while chatting and laughing." Poor Amber borrowed Mora, it was enough for me to spend some time. "Oh, forget it. This is an opportunity to get closer to the wind god, let's do it." She waved his big hand. "These are all small matters. I'll take care of you today," Wendy said happily. "I'm not mistaken. You're really a good person, you're amazing." She appears magnanimous on the surface, crying in his heart. "Woo woo woo. Babatos, let's do something serious." After 3 rounds of drinking, hiccup Wendy. "Wendy, I've been curious about something for a long time." What's going on? Are you a man or a woman?" Wendy blushed inexplicably. How could anyone ask such a thing? Of course I am male." Jueshi drank too much, her brain was confused, and her courage grew stronger. Looking at Wendy's expression, She decided to tease him. "Oh my, you're blushing. I see you look very beautiful, let me be healthy." "Oh no, absolutely not." Wendy had no intention of resisting and let Jueshi touch his thigh twice, but there was no further action. Jueshi. Wendy saw Jueshi fall asleep, and her eyes suddenly became clear without any signs of getting drunk. She looked at Jueshi and thought to herself. This is really a strange person, I can't see through it. Wendy came to a conclusion after probing the table just now. Isn't he from this world? I hope you will have a good impact on Mond. Although I didn't have any strength in the morning, there was a strange energy in my body now. Oh, I don't want to. You must be a great person, hee. With this in mind, Wendy picked up the last glass of dandelion wine from the table. Although dandelion wine is delicious, I do prefer apple cider to be a little more flavorful. The next day, headache. I had a broken drink yesterday. Thinking about inviting Wendy to drink and not drinking on her own would be too bad, but she accidentally drank too much. I hope I didn't say anything bad. How have you been restoring the system? Can you send me the beginner gift package? I know you're in a hurry, but don't be in a hurry for now. When the Lawmakers Power Award pool it's free for the first time. Extremely shocked. Golden Finger. My golden finger has finally arrived, the power of the Lawmaker. Isn't this a dimension reduction blow in the Tivat continent? Love it. System. Lottery. Activate. Chapter 5. Was drawn, but not completely drawn. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Looking at the rotating lottery page, Mu Jueshi thought to herself, just give me a final power, so that I can directly run through the entire Tivat. Ding dong. With the system prompt sound, the pointer stops rotating. System prompt, congratulations to the host for obtaining the modified version of the control power. Ah. Why is it the least desirable, bad-mouthed lawmaker or a modified version? Don't worry, you'll know it yourself. Jueshi felt that there was some strange energy in her body, and after a while, she became clear about her power. 1. When you die, you will be randomly reincarnated into the body of a person who developed suicidal thoughts after being targeted by the world, including those who developed suicidal thoughts after being targeted by those around you, or into the body of an evildoer, as the name suggests, a villain or abuser who inflicts malice on others, erasing all of their previous spiritual abilities. You can gain all of your previous abilities and all of your current physical abilities. 2. When you are attacked by any power other than yourself, you will immediately plunder their power for 24 hours. Assuming you resist for a while without dying, within these 24 hours, the victim will lose their power and be forcibly pulled into the dominant theater by you. During this period of losing power, they cannot leave. When you use the power you plunder, you can use 150% of the strength of the victim. After 24 hours, the power will return and you cannot permanently plunder it, but you will permanently gain the right to use that power, only able to use 70% of the strength of the victim. 3. When you plunder other powers and force the victim into dominating the theater, if they are willing to become your puppet, the power will return to the victim, and both you and them can permanently exert 120% of their power. After becoming your puppet, when you die, the puppet will immediately die. You can be reincarnated and resurrected, the puppet cannot. Jueshi pondered for a long time and asked the system. In summary, I have become a villain, haven't I? This authority looks at the group of oxen, and as long as the wicked don't die, I won't completely die in the world. Jueshi thought of a strange idea, but it was quickly rejected by him. Can I continue to commit suicide? Crazy stacking of abilities, if not, I always feel like this kind of card bug will cause bad things to happen. It seems like I can't use it. How could someone agree to share life and death with me as a villain template? And now there is a fatal flaw, I don't have the ability now. The premise of my plundering is that I need to be able to resist it first. Without substantial improvement, I can't resist it for a while. This power is really... it's too garbage. The system comforts. Don't think so, host. This has the highest growth attribute. If you think about it in the future, if you conquer various lawbreakers and become your puppet, wouldn't you be able to indulge in various powers for free without spending points? That's right, wait a minute, you don't need to spend points. Your system also needs points like others. Of course, this is the first time it's free, and there will be various props in the future as long as you have enough points. If you want the system to transform me into your wife, it's not impossible. Alright, come on. I've heard your abacus all over Mond. Alright, let's talk about it. What's my current task? Don't I usually have tasks? Che, your main mission now is to witness the history of Tivat with the Traveler. First of all, Mond. When you go to Liyue with the Traveler, you complete the task, and the richness of the reward depends on your evaluation. This task is currently locked. You need to complete the beginner task first to unlock it. The beginner task is to go to the collapse world to conquer a Valkyrie, and the reward is unknown. Upon hearing these two words, Jueshi's eyes lit up, and she could finally see the beloved Qibao. If it were just Yai, it would be great for Alicia. Alright. I can finally go to the world of destruction. By the way, can anyone be my guide? Anyone can, you will teleport to a random time slot. Wait, what about my time flow rate in Tivat? You don't have to worry about it not affecting your main quest. Jueshi immediately became interested, and Tivat himself couldn't stay any longer. Okay, then it's not too late. Let's hurry up and set off. Chapter 6. Insects and Insects. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a moment of dizziness, Jueshi opened her eyes and surveyed the surrounding scenery. The ground was bumpy and surrounded by endless buildings. Looking back, I saw a familiar blue planet. Ah! This is the moon, isn't it? Jueshi realized that he didn't wear a space suit, didn't wear an oxygen mask, and even heard his own voice. Jueshi immediately complained to the system roast. Can I survive without an oxygen mask or something? It seems like my breathing hasn't changed much. The system is speechless. Stop roast. The vacuum of the moon can't transmit sound. I know what you want to say, but collapse can explain everything. She was speechless, then too lazy to contemplate these details, and began to look around and contemplate the previous plot of the collapse. This is when the original plot of the collapse is almost over. Why didn't I see New Atra, the name of the lunar base in the storyline of Collapse 3? Let's take a walk, maybe we'll encounter bugs. Thinking about these things, I'll start wandering aimlessly. I don't know how long it took, but he finally got tired of walking. Oh my, there's not even a living person here. What's the situation? The system, there's not a single reference point in all these places. I can only wander around aimlessly, while others' travels are all about opening the harem with golden fingers. Why don't I have anything here? The system begins to draw a pie. I know you're in a hurry, but don't worry for now. You'll be able to see the living person later. I don't know how long it will take, but at least 2.5 hours. Finally, Jueshi saw a large area of buildings. Woo, I finally found you in Zinutella. I don't know who's inside, Sheer. Would you happen to see Kiana and Yai Tai Tai? He. Just as Jueshi was fantasizing, she suddenly heard a familiar and pleasant voice. Hey, who are you? Why are you here? Why are you giggling alone? Hearing this sound, my mind buzzed for a moment, and even my eyes were slightly moist. This sound is Jueshi turned around and hugged her. Insects, they are actually real insects. However, before Jueshi could finish speaking, something blocked her mouth. Kiana lifted her leg and kicked the strange man in front of her, making him speechless and preventing him from moving forward and wanting to hug her. Kiana pondered for a moment but still didn't kick the person away. She had just sensed a stranger around her and came out early to discover the person. After looking around for half a day, she inexplicably felt a bit familiar and found that there seemed to be strange power in his body, but very weak. If this kick were to be kicked out, Kiana was still afraid of killing this strange man. Who are you, and why do you call me Bug? After speaking, Kiana realized that the person in front of her was not very honest and wanted to hug her. In the end, Kiana decided to exert herself and kick the perverted man in front of her, doing whatever she said. With Kiana's kick, Jueshi also screamed out in pain. Oh my, Bug, you have such a ruthless heart. I watched you grow up, sobbing. Jueshi spoke with heartache, as if she was really about to cry. Running the train with your mouth full. You pervert. Kiana was a bit angry and stepped on Jueshi's body, putting him under her. Then, a pistol suddenly appeared on her hand, pointing towards the man under her feet. I'll ask you one last time, who are you and what is your purpose in coming here? If you talk nonsense, I won't be as gentle as before. Kiana collapsed and scolded her little kitten with a fierce expression, exerting little force on her feet as she stepped on Jueshi, making it unable to stand up. Wait, wait. I was so excited when I suddenly saw you, bug. Listen to me and slowly talk to you. Kiana increased the pressure on her feet and said angrily. I'm not a bug. Don't call me that, tell the truth quickly. Although being stepped on now makes it a bit difficult to speak, Jushi knew clearly in his heart that Kiana could not have killed him, and he also spoke recklessly. You are clearly, paramecium. You have made a name for yourself and become capable. You can step on me and kill me. You are not the same as before, you are amazing and noble. What's the end of your life now? If you have the ability, you can step on me and kill me. I was trampled to death by Kiana, and my life at home is also worth it. Kiana really wished she could step on this perverted man and kill him. You pervert is still talking nonsense. Suddenly, Kiana seemed to remember something, it didn't feel right. How did he know the title paramecium? Isn't this the nickname that teacher Jizi gave herself before, and he just said by Lien? He seems to know me very well. Chapter 7. First Battle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. She felt that Kiana seemed to be influenced by her words, and the force on her feet was slightly less. Thinking to myself, good opportunity, let you step on me. Look at me, I'll put you under my body in the opposite direction. Humph, as a big man, I can still let your paramecium bully you. Now is fantasy time. Fantasizing to overwhelm Kiana, Jueshi suddenly challenged her shyness. Kiana quickly sensed the intentions of the man in front of her. She had just fought Kevin for a while, and now her hands were still hot. How could she be ambushed by this kind of three-legged cat's ability? Despite being distracted, her body instinctively lifted and stepped on Jushi's left foot, quickly kicking his head with her right foot. This series of actions happened between the lightning and flint, and Jushi flew out like that, startling Kiana. Not good, this one won't kick him to death, will it? Kiana deliberately reduced her strength just now, but she still kicked Jueshi away with one kick. Jueshi rolled on the ground several times, as if seeing Kiana running towards her before losing consciousness. No. Chi. Yana, you're really killing me. Before she could finish speaking, Jueshi suddenly passed out in a daze. Sigh. Kiana sighed. This person is so weak and still thinking of resisting. Her subconscious counterattack just now was not intentional. However, after a simple check of the previous man's physical condition, it was not bad, but he fainted. Helpless Kiana picked up Jushi and walked towards the base. Jueshi's consciousness gradually regained little by little, and he opened his eyes, his consciousness still hazy. Hey, wake up quickly. Don't pretend to be dead. I didn't expect you to have such poor skills and good physical fitness. You woke up so quickly. Kiana gently patted Jueshi's face. Is this heaven? Qibao. Ha. This is not heaven, this is New Atra, and I'm not your Qibao. If you dare to speak nonsense again, I'll have to do it again according to your head. With these words, Kiana raised her fist with one hand and grabbed his face with the hand that had just slapped his face. She was speechless for a moment when she suddenly remembered something and asked the system in her heart. System, get up quickly and don't pretend to be dead. I resisted Kiana just now. Can I bring her to dominate the theater? I can use my ultimate power now. Host, what are you thinking about eating? I'm too embarrassed to say anything about you. You have to resist the ultimate power before you can plunder. That was just Kiana's gentle physical technique. She shocked, do you call that gentle? I seem to have rolled several times just now. Gently. People have different constitutions. If the host had crossed the body before, you would have died 10 times with that kick. Hey, what are you thinking? I kicked you crazy. Kiana forcefully pinched Jueshi's face. Not to mention the good hand feel, upon closer inspection, she looks much more handsome than her father. I really don't know how Cecilia's mother has set her sights on her father. If it were me, I would have to deal with him no matter what. Wait, what am I thinking? I just need sprout clothes. Kiana suddenly felt embarrassed, and her other hand also forcefully pinched the other side of Jueshi's face. Hey, it hurts, stop pinching. I'm not stupid. Jueshi struggled for a moment. Kiana also released her hands and spoke calmly. Hello, Kiana, it's nice to meet you in reality. My name is Mu Jueshi. After speaking, Jueshi revealed a smile that she felt should be quite good. Looking at the smile of the man named Mu Jueshi in front of her, Kiana gave this evaluation and continued speaking. Hello, how do you know that my Mrs. name is Kiana? It feels like you know me very well, and what does it mean to see me in reality? Your intelligence may sound a bit laborious, but in simple terms, you can think of me as someone who has traveled through time. That's why I said I'm glad to see you in reality. I don't know if you've read those novels about the protagonist's time travel. I'm not stupid. Does that time travel thing really exist, and you haven't answered me yet? Why do you know me so well? Because before I traveled, I was the captain of Hubrian's ship, witnessing your poignant journey of growth. Chapter 8. Do I want to drink? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kiana was lost in thought. Was it actually the captain? If that's the case, it's normal to know your own story. No wonder I mentioned Bai Lian when I saw him. I also have a sense of familiarity with him. No, what if this man is lying to me? What is that strange force in your body? Why did you come here? How did you come here, and what is your purpose? Jueshi explained step by step. Why did you throw up so many questions? Bug, my strange power finally told you, please believe me, I won't do anything wrong. First of all, why am I here to complete the task? Warning. Do not disclose the system to outsiders. Ah. How can I explain it clearly? Jueshi asked the system in her heart. I don't care. If you reveal the system, you won't be able to get any rewards anymore. Kiana listened to Mu Jueshi's words, and halfway through, she suddenly lost her voice, making her face black. This perverted man must be thinking about how to deceive himself, he must be. Kiana asked with a sly smile on her face. Hey ship. Captain. Why aren't you talking? The originally pleasant voice sounded particularly penetrating. Looking at Kiana, who had hidden a murderous intent on her face, Jueshi immediately went crazy and said. Bug, believe me, how could I deceive the ultimate invincible giant cute bug? Kiana's face softened a bit, but she said it seriously. Don't be playful and smiling, speak up quickly. Honesty is lenient, resistance is strict. I thought to myself, how could this person be so unscrupulous and say such things without blushing or jumping, teasing me? I can't let you meet Yai. Jueshi looked at Kiana again, pondered for a moment, and then spoke in a tone of emotion. Okay, let me continue. I traveled through time, and although it was quite troublesome and I don't know how to explain it, I learned about your story a long time ago. At that time, I fell in love with you, a sunny and passionate paramecium. Haha. From being a ranger in the sky, to transitioning into the law of salaries, and finally landing on the moon, defeating Kevin as the ruler, I lost all my power. You did a great job with all of this, Kiana. I was deeply moved and reluctant to part with you, and I couldn't even sleep. Little Kiana, little by little. From that naive little girl who dreams of becoming an S-level Valkyrie to a person who carries the fate of humanity and is willing to fight for all the beauty in the world, Jian has grown up. Watching you grow up really gives me a feeling of watching your own child rise to fame. What are you talking about? You still haven't figured it out. You're such a weirdo. Kiana's voice became quieter and quieter, while Jueshi smiled mischievously. Hee, because I was thinking about Qibao, being alone on the moon. Would you eat well? Roasting pizza at high temperatures every day is not nutritious. I usually don't know how to cook. After all, people from the Caslana family shouldn't go into the kitchen. Qibao is so lonely alone, I can't sleep, and maybe the heavens also know my longing for Qibao. It's amazing, bug. You're talking nonsense again. Miss, I don't believe you're the captain who crossed over. How could the captain be so unscrupulous? Just take a nap and cross over. No one will believe it when it's told to anyone, right? Kiana said angrily. In fact, she had already believed most of it in her heart. After all, what he said was quite detailed, and he was very serious just now, which she could feel. As for whether to believe it or not, it's just a tough argument. Jueshi smiled and thought to herself, Kiana, you are still too young to speak up. Qibao, let's take a gamble. With just one sentence, you can believe that I am the captain. If I win, you agree to my request. If I lose, I agree to your request. Do you dare to bet? Kiana looked at Jueshi with a proud expression on her face and thought to herself, guess you didn't think of anything good, but this bet is completely beneficial to herself. Even if she admits that you are the captain and doesn't admit it in anger, she can still win. Miss Hao has agreed and cannot go back on her word. Okay. It's a deal, and you can't go back on your word. Saying that, Kiana looked at Jueshi with a proud expression, as if saying, please start your performance. Jueshi took a deep breath and picked up her throat, learning from Kiana's coquettish tone and speaking loudly. I want to drink Yai's sister, Z. Before Jueshi could finish speaking, Kiana's little face turned red and she immediately covered his mouth. Shut up. You. Kiana was so angry that she didn't know what to say for a moment. Of course, she knew what came after this sentence. This was too shameful. Why is the captain so shameless? At this moment, Jueshi seemed like a devil, taking away Kiana's hand that was covering her mouth and whispering. Humph, believe it now, bug, I'm willing to admit defeat. You don't want to lose your own bet and not admit that this matter is known to Yai, do you? Chapter 9. Gunfight Art. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kiana picked up the kitten's face again and spoke with a disdainful expression. Humph. If you lose, you'll lose. Miss, I won't keep my word. I'm willing to accept the gamble and lose, perverted captain. Tell me what you want me to do. Jueshi naturally saw that Kiana was dissatisfied, but he didn't expect Kiana to be convinced either. Anyway, the demands he wanted to make were not excessive. Teach me gun fighting skills. Ah. At the same time, two voices appeared in Jueshi's ears, one was Kiana and the other was the sound of the system. The system says. Do you just want to learn gun fighting? With such a precious opportunity, I have something even more powerful for you to learn. Jueshi is returning in her heart. Don't you have to spend some points? And the system, just pretend to be dead. Don't complain about it. Kiana felt that she had taken advantage of it, and this kind of thing did not harm her, so she immediately agreed. That's a good deal, I'll teach you gun fighting skills. Kiana noticed that the captain's serious demeanor didn't seem like a joke. I didn't expect this person to be quite serious. I thought it would be an excessive demand. Jueshi asked. When should we start? Kiana looked at Jueshi. Although he was good at cooking, his physical fitness was good and he should be fine. Now, come with me. Jueshi followed Kiana to find an open place outside the base, and Kiana moved her body to inquire. Alright, are you ready? Jueshi is puzzled. Ah. Are you ready for something? Are you ready to be beaten? Ah. Before Jueshi could recover her composure, she saw Kiana strike at her, a simple and unadorned punch that could be seen clearly, but seemed unable to dodge. Her body couldn't react at the first moment, and Jueshi's difficult twist of her body really managed to dodge. But she almost fell due to her own body imbalance, so Kiana immediately lifted her leg and kicked Jueshi from top to bottom. This time, Jueshi really couldn't escape. Jueshi was stepped on by Kiana again. Not bad, it's better than the last time when you took an extra move in my hand. I've made rapid progress. Never complain. Are you really abusing me? It's not like teaching people. Kiana is a serious nonsense. That's a mistake. When I was a child, my dad taught me that. Every time he beat me up, I couldn't get up. She was speechless for a moment. It seemed like something that a hot-blooded fool like Zigfai would do. Kiana lifted her foot and pulled Jueshi up. Kiana smiled mischievously. Continue, Captain. Jueshi was carried back by Kiana for the second time. Bug, you can't take it lightly. I seriously suspect that you were intentionally retaliating against me just now. What? I'm already very careful. Don't call me Bug, call me Kiana. Good Bug, I know about bugs. Captain, do you think the training intensity just now was not enough? This training intensity may seem like a minor for you, but it's just right for me. I see you can still argue with me, there must be some room for improvement. Come down and leave on your own. Kiana threw Jueshi onto the ground. Oh my, Bug, can't you teleport me back? You're the law of space, aren't you good at using spatial abilities? No, you can't use it indiscriminately, just treat it as exercise. Kiana said she couldn't, but what she was thinking at this moment was why she hadn't thought of it. You haven't actually thought about power as a means of transportation, have you? Jueshi seemed to have seen through Kiana's thoughts. Hurry up and leave, I'm going back soon. I'm already hungry. Kiana shifted the topic. By the way, Qibao, what do you usually eat? Tianhua toast pizza. I can also cook a little bit of food now, okay? Captain, don't look down on me, and don't call me Qibao. Okay. Don't shout. Jueshi felt that she was now called Qibao, and Kiana still had a resistance mentality. Humph, after I finished conquering you, I want you to give birth to a football team for me. Can the system see Kiana's favorability towards me? At present, there are 2 stars for favoritism. 1 star represents passers-by, 2 stars represents friends, 3 stars represents close friends, 4 stars represents liking, and 5 stars represents affection. 4 stars for favoritism are considered a successful strategy. Oh. 4 stars is enough. I thought I wanted 5 stars. By the way, how much does Qibao like about Yai? Chapter 10. Guobaorou. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Kiana's liking for Thunderbolt Yai is 5 stars. Upon hearing this news, Jueshi sighed in her heart, should she truly be Kiana? After asking what she wanted to ask, Jueshi also left the system aside and asked Kiana. What do insects want to eat? Later, I will personally cook for you to taste my craft. She looked upstairs and asked. Kiana's room is above Jueshi's room, which Kiana has temporarily cleaned up and can barely accommodate people, even though its predecessor was a miscellaneous room. You can still cook, Captain. Kiana walked down from upstairs. She thought to herself. Okay, Kiana didn't actually refute me by calling me a bug. It seems that I am closer to the strategy Qibao. Of course, before I traveled here, I used to live alone. I usually do the grocery shopping and cooking. I want to eat meat. Kiana suggested what she wanted to eat. Although she could cook her own meals, meat was still too early for her. Jueshi opened the refrigerator and looked at the various ingredients in front of her. The things are quite comprehensive. I'll make you a traditional dish from our hometown that you must have never tasted before. What is it? You'll know later, Qibao. Cut, play tricks. Kiana left the kitchen and sat on the sofa listening to the sound of Jueshi cooking, lost in thought. It's really nice to have someone with her. I don't know what Yai is doing now. Here comes the fried pork bun, hee 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 hee. Jueshi walked up to Kiana with a large plate of steamed buns. Hey, Qibao is asleep. Jueshi looked at Kiana's sleeping face and couldn't help but marvel at how cute my bugs are. Jueshi slowly placed the dishes on the table and thought to herself. Really, aren't you afraid that I'll take advantage of her? Jueshi extended a finger and gently poked Kiana's face, hee hee, so soft. Is this the face of a girl? I haven't touched it in real life yet. The first time I touched it was with Qibao, it felt really good. Kiana frowned slightly. She had already woken up, but for some reason she didn't want to open her eyes. What's wrong with me? I'm curious. Yes, I must see what else the captain wants to do. I'll beat him up later. Kiana thought to herself. Qibao is so cute, I really want to touch my head. Anyway, it's okay if I fall asleep. Just say and do. Jueshi put her hand directly on her head and slowly rubbed it. Xuan, no, it's too strange. This feeling is different from when Yai touched me. It's strange, but it seems to feel good. Kiana's face slowly turned red. Hey, is it too hot? Why did you fall asleep and blush, or did you dream about Yai? Jueshi spoke to herself and was heard by Kiana, who suddenly opened her eyes. Grasp his arm with one hand upwards, stand up, and turn around to drop it to the ground. Abnormal captain. Kiana said this. How could she admit to being shy? Kiana became increasingly angry as she thought about it. How could she blush and be so angry? It must be his fault. Jueshi seemed to know something. Hee hee, it turned out that Qibao had already woken up. He was shy just now, and although it hurt a bit, Jueshi was still very happy. He slowly stood up and said with a playful smile. Alright, I made a mistake. Bug, didn't you look too cute just now? Touch your head, let's eat quickly. It'll be cold later. Kiana turned her head with a proud and coquettish expression. Let's not take this as an example. Kiana turned around and sat on the chair, ready to start eating. She carefully picked up a piece of meat, which seemed a bit hard. Wasn't it done properly? Kiana asked Jueshi. What kind of dish is this? Can it be eaten? I've never seen it before. It's a bit hard to pick up, but the color is very nice, golden yellow. Jueshi immediately guarantees the ticket. This dish is called Guobaorou and it is from our Chinese cuisine. Try it quickly, it will definitely be delicious. So the captain is from China, does he know Fu Hua? I am the captain, what are you talking about? I know all your stories, and I also like Fu Hua very much. Do you know what happened to Yai during the World Snake period, Captain? She has changed a lot since then. Although I have also changed a lot since we parted ways, I am still curious and worried about her. Every time I ask her, she doesn't tell me. Can you tell me? Kiana looked at Jueshi with an expectant expression on her face. You eat the insects first, and after finishing, I'll tell you. Okay. After speaking, she put the piece of meat into her mouth and gave it a high evaluation. This is also too delicious. Although it's a bit hard, the taste. The taste. It's so delicious. It's a bit sour and a bit sweet, and it's really better than my cooking. Hee hee, we still have a lot of delicious food in China. Qibao likes me to make it for you every day. Kiana's eyes lit up when she heard the delicious food. Is it really fake? Jueshi patted her chest to ensure. Of course, how could I deceive Qibao? Che, also known as Qibao, don't get too proud of yourself. It's much worse than the dishes made by Yai. After Kiana finished speaking, she stopped speaking and began to eliminate the fried pork dumplings made by the captain. Okay. Yai's cooking is the best. This time, even calling her Qibao did not refute me. Great success, come on, Ju, she thought to herself.